Life in the state of nature is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. The condition of man is a condition of war of everyone against everyone. Force and fraud are in war the two cardinal virtues. The passions that incline men to peace are fear of death, desire of such things as are necessary to commodious living, and a hope, by their industry to obtain them. A man's conscience and his judgment is the same thing. Words are the money of fools. No arts, no letters, no society, and which is worst of all, continual fear and danger of violent death, and the life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish and short. Nature hath made men so equal, in the faculties of body and mind. For as to the strength of body, the weakest has strength enough to kill the strongest. The value or worth of a man is, as of all other things, his price. Such is the nature of men, that howsoever they may acknowledge many others to be more witty, or more eloquent, or more learned, yet they will hardly believe there be many so wise as themselves. And the life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. The obligation of subjects to the sovereign is understood to last as long, and no longer, than the power lasteth by which he is able to protect them. To this war of every man against every man, this also is consequent, that nothing can be unjust. All punishment is mischief, all punishment in itself is evil. The end of wisdom is to be enabled either to do justly what you will, or to make others do justly what they ought. Curiosity is the lust of the mind. Leisure is the mother of philosophy. The secret thoughts of a man run over all things, holy, profane, clean, obscene, grave, and light, without shame or blame. The privilege of absurdity, to which no living creature is subject, but man only. There is no such thing as perpetual tranquility of mind while we live here, and from the ignorance of these, men are kept in a perpetual bondage to the fearful apprehension of the spirits. The universe, the whole mass of things that are, is corporeal, that is to say, body. Science is the knowledge of consequences and dependence of one fact upon another. He that is taken and put into prison or chains is not conquered, though overcome, for he is still an enemy. The source of every crime is some defect of the understanding, or some error in reasoning, or some sudden force of the passions. For the laws of nature, as justice, equity, modesty, mercy, and, in some, doing to others as we would be done to, of themselves, without the terror of some power to cause them to be observed, are contrary to our natural passions, that carry us to partiality, pride, revenge, and the like. All men by nature desire knowledge, so that in the first place, I put, for a general inclination of all mankind, a perpetual and restless desire of power after power, that ceaseth only in death. Hell is truth seen too late. Words are wise men's counters, they do but reckon by them, but they are the money of fools. No arts, no letters, no society, and which is worst of all, continual fear and danger of violent death, and the life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish and short. All generous minds have a horror of what are commonly called facts. They are the brute beasts of the intellectual domain. The praise of ancient authors proceeds not from the reverence of the dead, but from the competition and mutual envy of the living. To this war of every man against every man, this also is consequent, that nothing can be unjust. A covenant not to defend myself from force by force is always void. Science is the knowledge of consequences and dependence of one fact upon another. The right of nature, which writers commonly call use natural, is the liberty each man hath to use his own power, as he will himself, for the preservation of his own nature, that is to say, of his own life. Fear of things invisible is the natural seed of that which every one in himself calleth religion.